Hello again. I'm now uncinematic. If you watched the previous video on ADHD, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this still is very good lighting. I don't know why I've got no lights on, but the window's doing it. I really do look a lot better here than I actually do in real life. I'm starting to wonder if it's this new phone I've got. It's got some internal filter. There's some bullshit going on here anyway. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Nadia. I am 58 years old and I was diagnosed with ADHD just a few months ago. And you can go back to my first video. I think there are 5 before this one. And you can find out about my assessment and my diagnosis and my early days on medication. I'm not going to talk about medication today because I want to talk a bit more about what I'm discovering. It's like it's like the unpeeling of the orange or the banana and trying to work out where I can forgive myself because my brain doesn't work in the same way that, let's say, the majority of people's brains work. My neurodiversity. Now, all this stuff actually, I just find very frustrating because I think that the reason we all have to quantify what brain we've got is because we are all pushed through a sausage machine and we're all supposed to be one particular way. And that's why when I say I wouldn't change, I wouldn't go back and say I don't want ADHD. I would never say that. Even though I realise a lot of the things that maybe have been chaotic and difficult and self-destructive and maybe even destructive to others that could be attributed to my ADHD, I'm willing to accept that because I also think there's a really amazing part of my brain that is also fueled by my soul, my character, and a little bit by my ADHD. So I don't want to go back and say, rebirth me and bring me back with ADHD, because this amazing brain is my brain with all its complexities and all its foibles. And yeah, it makes it harder for me to be in the sausage machine because I can't just go to school and just perform in the way that everybody hoped or expected, because she seems like a very bright child, but she just can't seem to focus and she just can't seem to concentrate and she doesn't finish her homework and all that. Well, that was just a different way for me. So yeah, it made school difficult. I mean, I had a great time at school because I learned very quickly how to be more charming, how to make people laugh, how to act the fool. And so I was popular at school. Even teachers liked me. It was weird, even though I was a bit of a bloody nightmare. You know, when I think back to the horrors of homework, and I would say, I'm going to do my homework, and I would lie and say I'd done my homework. And this, you know, most kids will miss their homework all the time, but it was almost pathological that I couldn't do my homework. I would sit down and I would want to start it. I literally could not do it. My brain would just go off. And that fueled my insecurity for many years that I was stupid and lazy. I mean, I am trying now at 58 to unravel those labels that were given to me and that I took on, because people must have been right, because I wasn't doing everything in the same way that everybody else was doing it. So I must be stupid, I must be lazy. But if you gave me a person or that I was really fascinated by, or if you gave me anything that I found interesting, I would go 100% at it. Now, of course, now I'm understanding more about ADHD. That's classic ADHD, hyper-focused on the things that really interest, but because there's a lack of dopamine in the brain that would fuel you past something that you needed executive thinking for, and you needed to move past, because I just didn't produce it in the same way as another brain would, I couldn't push through. Now I can push through. I can push through because I'm getting the right amount of dopamine released from my brain with medication, but hopefully I'm hoping I can train it and one day come off the medication to manage well enough with my executive thinking and then be as crazy and as freestyle as I want. Now, I've worked in television for years, and I remember years ago a producer saying, you know what the great thing is about you, Nadia, that a lot of other producers might find difficult? He goes, you never really know what's going to happen. and what you're going to say. And I remember at the time thinking, oh God, is that really bad? But again, as I unpeel this banana or whatever image we're using, I realised more and more that these, when you talk to other ADHD people, this spontaneous, this impulsivity is another symptom. And I've used that to my advantage, you know? So I hate this, oh, your ADHD is your superpower, because I think it really irritates people that are struggling with their ADHD. But if we could find another way to describe that, I would say that there are real sparks of joy within the ADHD brain. There is a lot that I've had to deal with that has been difficult, but those sparks and the way that I've used what other people go, oh, that doesn't quite fit in the sausage machine, and I've used that to my advantage to become a successful TV presenter. My husband and I, both with ADHD, can't bear authority in any way whatsoever. So we create our own content here on this YouTube channel. We have the freedom to do anything in the way, exactly the way that we want it. So I've created a life, actually, and so has my husband, for an ADHD, where we do things how we want, in the way that we want. Like, we don't sit down before we shoot something with a plan. We don't sit down before Coffee Moaning, our live show, and work out how we're going to say things. We'll work out what we're going to talk about, and then we just come to it. We come to it. It just and it's very difficult to be allowed to do that in any other workplace that I can think of that I've worked in. So it's really strange to discover that we did that subconsciously. We found a way to have the brains that we've got without having to conform. I suppose that's the word I'm looking for, conform to what's expected of, what do we call it? An earthling's brain. Maybe I've got a bit of an alien's brain. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, so it's about, for the moment, it's me like swinging one way about, oh my God, I feel so bad. Why did I always procrastinate? Why did I put people, why out of sight, out of mind? Why did I isolate from people? Why would I let people down? Why? All these things that I'm working on to try and forgive myself, not let myself off the hook, because also you don't want to go, oh, well, everything I ever did was down to the fact that I have ADHD, but trying to work out where I can just, give myself a day off on it. But also to see where I've used it really well, and to give, I suppose also I want to give people that inspiration. Think about it. If you've just had a diagnosis and you're thinking, oh my God, well, what's wrong with my brain? And just think, no, what's right with it? What's different? Maybe you've always been told that difference is a pain in the ass, but maybe it's just a pain in the ass to other people. Maybe it's not a pain in the ass to you. And maybe you just, I would suggest possibly even writing down a list. I did this the other day, on what the labels are that people have given you, and how much have you taken that on and taken it in, and how possibly you could turn that label round and go, well, yeah, that is what people say about me, but actually, when I really, really think about it, I actually quite like that about myself. I am impulsive. Yeah, sometimes I do talk over other people. And yeah, that's a bit annoying. But it's also because I'm really fucking excited about what they're saying, because I'm so interested in people. That's my hyper-focus. My real passion is people and the human condition, and what makes us tick, and what makes us all so different, and how our experiences in our childhood, and what's nurture and what's nature. All that thing just fascinates me. So when I'm talking to you, I am exhausting, because I'm like, and I'm not going to think of myself just as somebody that's annoying. And actually, my friend said to me the other day, she said, Nigel, I always think of you as a really good listener. It was actually Jane Moore that said that to me on Loose Women. And I wanted to say, we were live on telly, and I wanted to just give her a big hug and say, oh God, thank you. Because I do get told I talk over people, and I know I do. And I work really hard not to. Like, sometimes I have to sit on my hands, because I can feel that excitement, that adrenaline, that impulsivity that I've had all my life. My hyperactivity is in my brain. And I'm trying to suppress it. But I know I'm just going to find a middle road. I just go, sorry, I have interrupted a bit, but it's just because I'm really passionate about what I'm thinking and what you're saying, and I'm trying not, I'm going to do a bit more of that. So what's your thing? What's your thing that you've had a label given to you that you've wholeheartedly taken in and stuck on your forehead? I'm lazy, I'm dozy, I'm stupid, I can't concentrate because I don't want to concentrate, not because I haven't got enough dopamine in my brain. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, rambling musings. As I say, even with this, I don't think about what I'm going to say before I just turn the camera on and just chat to you. I don't do any edits. So it's just from my heart. And subscribe and hit the notification bell and have a look around the channel because there's loads of other stuff here. Go back to episode 1 of this. And just another reminder, I just share my experiences. I'm not advising anyone, I'm just sharing my experiences and thinking, hey, why not try this? And remember, medication must only come from a qualified medical person.